Welcome to our journey through tales of wonder and imagination. Tonight, we gather by the fireside to share stories of distant lands, quiet moments, and the gentle rhythms of life. Let us begin. The parking lot is empty when you arrive. Your car is the only one here, parked under the light near the main entrance, the way you always park it. The engine ticks as it cools. You gather your things slowly. There is no rush. There never is. The keys jingle softly in your hand. It is 10 o'clock on a Wednesday night, and the high school is closed and quiet, and yours to watch over until morning. This is your routine. You have done this hundreds of times. You will do it hundreds more. The air outside is cool, not cold. Comfortable. The kind of temperature that requires nothing from you. No jacket, no complaint. Just comfortable. You walk across the parking lot, your footsteps the only sound, and the building waits ahead, dark except for the security lights that stay on all night. You reach the main entrance. The glass doors reflect your shape as you approach. You fit the key into the lock, turn it, hear the familiar click. The door opens inward with a soft pneumatic sigh. You step inside and pull the door closed behind you and lock it again from the inside. Now you are in. The main hallway stretches ahead of you, longer than it seems during the day when it is full of students. At night, with no one here, it looks enormous. The floor is polished linoleum, waxed recently, reflecting the overhead lights in long blurred strips. Your shoes make a soft sound against it as you begin to walk. Fluorescent lights hum very quietly above you. On your left, a row of lockers. Blue paint, numbers stenciled in white. Some have stickers on them, band logos, motivational phrases, inside jokes you do not understand. You walk past them slowly. Each locker is identical. Each one is closed. On your right, a bulletin board. It is covered in flyers. Upcoming events that have already happened. A bake sale from 2 weeks ago. Tryouts for a play. A reminder about picture day. The papers are pinned neatly, overlapping slightly. No one has updated the board in a while. No one needs to. You pause for a moment, looking at it, reading nothing in particular, just noticing it is there. You continue walking. The hallway is so quiet that you can hear the building itself. A faint creak from somewhere above, the structure settling. The hum of the heating system, or maybe the cooling system, you are never quite sure which. A distant drip of water from a drinking fountain that does not seal completely. These sounds are always here. They are part of the building. You have learned not to investigate them unless they change. Tonight, they do not change. Another bulletin board, this one with student artwork. Paintings of trees, a collage made from magazine cutouts, a clay sculpture photographed and printed. The art is cheerful, colorful, but at night under these lights it looks softer, quieter. You walk past it without stopping. The hallway turns slightly to the left. Around the corner there is a trophy case. Glass panels, wooden frame, shelves inside holding trophies from years past. Football, basketball, debate team, academic decathlon. The trophies are brass and silver, a little tarnished. They catch the light. You have walked past this case so many times that you no longer read the plaques. You know they are there. That is enough. You pause at the drinking fountain. Press the button. Water arcs upward in a gentle curve. You lean down, take a sip. It is cool, slightly metallic, the way school drinking fountain water always tastes. You straighten up, wipe your mouth with the back of your hand, and keep walking. More lockers, more bulletin boards. A poster reminding students to return library books. Another poster about the upcoming winter break, Even though winter break has already come and gone, the hallway does not update itself. It simply exists, holding onto information long past its usefulness, and no one minds. The floor ahead of you is completely empty. No backpacks left behind. No dropped papers. The custodians cleaned before they left. They always do. The building is neat, orderly, nothing out of place. You appreciate this. It makes your rounds easier. It makes the night feel calmer. You reach the intersection of two hallways. To your left, the hallway leads to the science wing. To your right, the arts and humanities. Straight ahead, the gymnasium and cafeteria. You will visit all of them, eventually. You always do. But there is no hurry. You have all night. You decide to continue straight for now. The hallway widens slightly as you approach the main office area. There are windows here, looking into the administrative offices. The lights inside are off, but you can see shapes in the darkness. Desks, filing cabinets, a potted plant on the receptionist's counter. Everything is still. You try the door handle, just to check. Locked, as it should be. You make a note of it, mentally, not because you need to write it down, but because checking is part of the routine. Door locked, office secure. Everything as expected. A clock on the wall ticks quietly. It is an old clock, the kind with a round face and black hands and numbers. It says 10:14. You have been inside for less than 15 minutes. Time moves differently here at night. Slower. Each minute feels longer, but not in a bad way. Just present. Noticeable. You walk past the office windows, trailing your hand lightly along the wall. The wall is smooth, painted a neutral beige or maybe a very light gray. It is hard to tell under these lights. There are scuff marks near the floor where students have kicked or leaned. The marks are faint. They have been there for years. They do not bother you. Another drinking fountain. You do not stop this time. Ahead, the hallway opens into a small commons area. There are a few benches here, bolted to the floor. A low table. During the day, students sit here between classes, talking, eating snacks. At night, it is just furniture. You sit down on one of the benches not because you're tired, but because you can. There is no reason not to. The bench is hard, wooden slats painted the same blue as the lockers. You sit and look at nothing in particular and listen. The hum of the lights. The faint sound of the ventilation system. The ticking of that clock, still audible even from here. Outside, through the windows, you can see the parking lot lights casting their yellow glow. Beyond that darkness, trees. The edge of the soccer field, just barely visible. You stand up. Time to keep moving. You walk back the way you came, retracing your steps to the intersection. This time you turn left, toward the science wing. The hallway here is narrower. The lockers are older, a different shade of blue, slightly faded. The floor tiles are the same, but there are more scuff marks here, more wear. The first classroom door you pass has a small window at eye level. You glance inside without stopping. Rows of desks, a chalkboard at the front, a periodic table poster on the wall. Nothing unusual, nothing that requires your attention. You keep walking. Another door, another classroom. This one has lab tables instead of desks. Bunsen burners clamped to the tables, not in use. Beakers and flasks stored neatly on shelves. A skeleton hanging in the corner, the kind used for anatomy lessons. It sways very slightly, moved by some air current you cannot feel. You watch it for a moment. It settles. You move on. The hallway ends at a set of double doors. You push through them. They swing open easily, well-oiled hinges making no sound. Beyond is another hallway, identical to the one you just left. More lockers, more classrooms, more bulletin boards with outdated information. You check your watch. 10:28. You have been walking for nearly half an hour, and you have covered maybe a tenth of the building. This is fine. This is expected. There is no hurry. The building will still be here in an hour, in 2 hours, in 5. You continue down the hallway, your footsteps steady, your pace unhurried. A locker door is slightly ajar, not closed all the way. You stop. Push it gently. It clicks shut. You try the handle. Locked. Good. You continue. The end of the hallway approaches. Another turn. Another stretch of identical corridor. The building is a maze, but a familiar one. You know every turn, every door, every bulletin board. You could walk these halls in complete darkness and never lose your way. But the lights are on, and you walk slowly, and you notice everything and nothing at all. The night is long. The building is quiet. Everything is exactly as it should be. You turn into the main classroom wing. This hallway is wider than the last, with windows along one side that look out onto the courtyard. During the day, sunlight comes through these windows. At night, they are black mirrors reflecting the hallway back at itself. You can see your own reflection as you walk, a dim figure moving alongside you in the glass. The first classroom is room 103. You stop at the door, look through the small window. The room is dark, but light from the hallway spills in enough to see. Desks arranged in rows, 5 across, 6 deep, 30 desks total. Each one has a chair tucked neatly underneath. On the teacher's desk at the front, a stack of papers weighted down with a stapler. You move to the next door, 105. Another classroom, nearly identical. The desks are arranged differently here, in groups of 4 instead of rows. Collaborative seating. The chalkboard has tomorrow's homework assignment still written on it. Read Chapter 7. Answer questions 1 through 12. You read it, though you do not need to. Then you move on. 107, 109, 111. Each room the same, and yet each one slightly different. Different posters on the walls, different arrangements of furniture, different handwriting on the boards. You look into each one, a brief glance, confirming that everything is as it should be. No lights left on. No windows left open. No one inside who should not be there. No one is ever inside. But you check anyway, because checking is what you do. The hallway continues ahead of you, stretching toward the far end of the building. You are in no rush to reach it. You walk at the same steady pace you always walk, not fast, not slow, just walking. A water fountain breaks the line of classroom doors. You stop, press the button, take another sip. The water tastes the same as the last fountain. Cool, metallic, familiar. You straighten, wipe your mouth, continue. Room 113 is different from the others. It is the art room. You can tell before you even look inside because the door has student artwork taped to it. Drawings, watercolors, a charcoal sketch of a tree. The door itself is painted, different colors around the frame, bright yellows and blues and reds. During the day, this must seem cheerful. At night, the colors look muted, softer. You look through the window. Inside, the room is organized chaos. Easels folded and stacked against one wall. Shelves full of paint jars, brushes and coffee cans, rolls of paper, tables covered with drop cloths, permanently stained with old paint. A kiln in the corner, unplugged, cold. The smell of paint and clay seeps under the door, faint but distinct. You try the handle, locked. You nod to yourself, move on. The next classroom is 115, English literature. Through the window, You can see posters of famous authors: Shakespeare, Toni Morrison, Edgar Allan Poe. Their faces watch the empty room. Bookshelves line the back wall, filled with worn paperbacks. The teacher's desk has a mug on it, the handle facing left. Cold coffee, probably. Left from the afternoon. You keep walking. 117. History. Maps on the walls. A globe on a stand near the window. The desks here are older, the kind with the writing surface attached, slanted slightly. Some of the desk surfaces have initials carved into them, small acts of vandalism from years past. You cannot see them from the doorway, but you know they are there. The hallway turns. You follow it, your shoes making soft sounds against the floor. Around the corner, more classrooms, more doors, more windows looking into empty rooms filled with furniture and waiting. 119 is a math classroom. The chalkboard is covered with equations, numbers and variables and equal signs. You do not understand the math. You do not try, you simply look, confirm the room is empty, and continue. 121, 123, 125. Foreign language classrooms, all in a row. Spanish, French, German. Each door has a poster showing the flag of the country, the alphabet in that language, common phrases. Buenos dias, bonjour, guten Tag. You walk past them slowly, reading the posters even though you have read them 100 times before. The end of the hallway is approaching. There is a stairwell here, leading to the second floor. You will go up eventually, but not yet. First, you will finish this floor. You turn around, walk back the way you came, checking the other side of the hallway now. Room 124. You look inside. Another English classroom, or maybe social studies. It is hard to tell. The posters are about writing. The 5-paragraph essay structure, proper comma usage. A quote on the wall in large letters. The difference between the right word and the almost right word is the difference between lightning and a lightning bug. You read it. You have read it many times. It is still there. You move to the next door. 122. Science. You can see lab stools instead of chairs, cabinets with glass doors showing beakers and test tubes arranged neatly inside, a poster of the human circulatory system. The skeleton you saw earlier is not in this room. Different classroom. Different skeleton, perhaps, or no skeleton at all. 120, 118, 116. You are retracing the hallway now, seeing the rooms from the opposite side, confirming what you already confirmed minutes ago. Everything is still empty. Everything is still locked. Everything is exactly as it was. The art room door, with its painted frame, looks the same from this direction. You do not stop this time. 114, 112, 110. The rhythm of walking, pausing, looking, walking again becomes almost meditative. You do not think about what you are doing. You simply do it. Step after step, door after door, room after room. 108. Through the window, you see a classroom with a rocking chair in the corner. This must be a reading classroom, or maybe a special education room. The rocking chair is upholstered in blue fabric, worn at the armrests. It sits perfectly still. No one has sat in it for hours. No one will sit in it until morning. 106. The desks here are arranged in a U shape. The teacher's desk is in the center of the U, so the teacher can see everyone. On the desk is a photo in a frame. You cannot see the photo clearly from the doorway. It does not matter. It is not your business. 104. 102. You have reached the beginning of the hallway again, back where you started this section. The windows along the courtyard side are still black mirrors. Your reflection is still there, dim and patient. You check your watch. 10:47. Nearly an hour since you arrived. The building is quiet. The classrooms are empty. Everything is in order. You have checked every door on this hallway, looked into every room, confirmed what you already knew would be true. But you stand here for a moment anyway, at the intersection of hallways, and you listen. The lights hum above you. The ventilation system breathes, somewhere in the walls or ceiling. Outside, through the courtyard windows, a tree branch moves slightly in a breeze you cannot feel from inside. The leaves are dark shapes against a darker sky. They sway just a little, then settle. You turn toward the next hallway. There are more classrooms this way, another wing, another section to check. You will check them all, you always do. But you pause at the water fountain first. Press the button, take a slow sip. The water is cool. The hallway is quiet. You wipe your mouth and continue walking. Your footsteps the only sound, steady and slow and completely unhurried. Because there is nowhere you need to be except here, walking these halls, checking these rooms, making sure the building rests undisturbed through the night. And it does. It always does. You walk toward the library. It is located in the center of the building, accessible from multiple hallways. You take the route you always take, past the guidance counselor's office, past the nurse's station, past a bulletin board covered in college recruitment flyers. The library doors are large, double doors with metal handles and small windows of reinforced glass. You can see through the windows into the darkness beyond. The library lights are off, as they should be. Only the emergency exit signs glow, casting faint red light into the space. You pull out your keys. Find the right one, the brass one with the round head. Fit it into the lock. Turn it. The mechanism clicks. You push the door open, reach inside for the light switch, and flip it. The fluorescent lights flicker on, one section at a time, illuminating the library in stages. First, the circulation desk area, then the reading tables, then the rows of shelves stretching back toward the far wall. The lights hum as they warm up, settling into their steady glow. You step inside. The library smells like books. Old paper, dust, the faint chemical scent of book glue and binding. It is not unpleasant. It is the smell of collected knowledge sitting quietly in the dark, waiting. The circulation desk is directly ahead. Behind it, a computer monitor in sleep mode, the screen black. A date stamp sits beside a stack of returned books waiting to be reshelved. The books are fiction, mostly. You can see the colorful spines, fantasy novels, mysteries, romance. The librarian will put them away tomorrow. You walk past the desk into the main area. The reading tables are arranged in rows. Long tables, wooden, with chairs tucked neatly underneath. 4 chairs per table. The tables are empty except for one, which has a forgotten pencil lying near the edge. You pick up the pencil, look at it. It is wooden, yellow, the eraser worn down to a pink nub. You set it on the circulation desk as you pass. Someone will claim it, or someone will not. The shelves begin. They are tall, metal shelves painted beige, arranged in rows with just enough space between them to walk comfortably. Signs hang from the ceiling indicating sections. Fiction A through L, fiction M through Z, nonfiction by Dewey Decimal, reference. Biography. You walk between the first row of shelves. Books on either side of you, thousands of them, their spines facing out. You run your hand along them as you walk, feeling the texture change from paperback to hardcover and back again. Some spines are cracked. Some are pristine. Some have library labels. Others have been repaired with clear tape. The silence here is different than in the hallways. In the hallways, the silence is empty. Here in the library, the silence feels full, as if the books themselves are holding their breath, waiting to be opened, waiting to be read, but content for now to simply be. You reach the end of the row, turn, walk down the next aisle. More books. History, World War II, American Revolution, ancient Rome. The books are thick, heavy, filled with facts and photographs. You do not pull any from the shelf. You simply walk past them, acknowledging their presence. Another aisle. Science, biology, chemistry, physics. Books with diagrams on their covers, molecules and cells and planetary orbits. You keep walking. The library is larger than it seems from the entrance. Row after row of shelves, aisle after aisle of books. You walk them all, slowly, your footsteps softened by the thin carpet covering the floor. The carpet is industrial, gray with flecks of darker gray, designed not to show dirt. It succeeds. You reach the back of the library. Here there are study carrels, small desks built into the wall, each with a lamp and a chair, meant for students who need quiet, who need to focus. The carrels are empty now, the lamps off, the chairs pushed in. You check each one anyway. No books left behind, no personal belongings, nothing forgotten. Against the far wall, there are windows. They look out onto a small courtyard, different from the one visible from the classroom wing. This courtyard has a garden, or what was once a garden. Now, at night, in late autumn or early winter, it is mostly bare soil and the skeletal remains of plants that bloomed months ago. A single light on a pole illuminates the space weakly. You stand at the window for a moment, looking out. Nothing moves in the courtyard. Nothing grows. It is simply there, a patch of earth surrounded by building, waiting for spring or for nothing at all. You turn back to the library, walk down another aisle. Reference books here, encyclopedias, dictionaries, atlases. The kind of books that are used less and less each year as students turn to the internet instead. But they remain on the shelves, heavy and authoritative, their pages yellowing slightly. You pick up one of the encyclopedias, Volume M, open it randomly. The page you land on is about the Maldives. There is a photograph of turquoise water and white sand, a paragraph describing the geography, the climate, the population. You read it, though you do not need to know any of this information. Then you close the book, return it to the shelf, perfectly aligned with the others. The library clock reads 11:03. It is a large clock, mounted on the wall above the circulation desk, visible from anywhere in the library. The second hand sweeps around the face in smooth motion, not ticking, just moving continuously. You watch it complete one full rotation, 60 seconds. Then you look away. More shelves. Biography. Memoirs. People's lives reduced to pages, bound and shelved alphabetically by last name. You walk past them. Franklin, Gandhi, King, Lincoln, Parks. Roosevelt. Names you recognize. Stories you do not know in full, but know exist here, waiting. The children's section is in the far corner. The shelves here are shorter, easier for small hands to reach. The books are brighter, their covers illustrated with cartoons and friendly animals. Picture books. Early readers. Chapter books with large print. A small rug on the floor, shaped like a turtle. Beanbag chairs in primary colors. You walk through the children's section without stopping. It feels even quieter here, if that is possible, as if the books themselves are sleeping, dreaming of being read aloud to children who are themselves sleeping now in homes scattered across the district. You exit the children's section, return to the main area, circle back toward the circulation desk, completing your loop of the library. Everything is in order. No lights left on that should be off. No windows left open. No one hiding between the shelves. You switch off the lights. The library returns to darkness, section by section, as the fluorescents click off. The emergency exit signs glow red again, the only light remaining. You step out into the hallway, pull the door closed, lock it, test the handle. Secure. You stand in the hallway for a moment, adjusting to the hallway lights after the library's darkness. Then you turn left, toward the administrative offices. The main office is just down the hall. You reach it quickly. Stand before the large windows that look into the reception area. The lights inside are off, but you can see the shapes of furniture, the receptionist's desk, filing cabinets, a row of chairs against the wall where parents wait during conferences. The door is locked. You already checked it, but you try the handle again anyway. Still locked. You move along the windows, looking into different sections of the office. The principal's office, door closed, dark. The vice principal's office, also dark. A small workroom with a photocopier and a printer, both machines silent, both machines displaying small green lights indicating standby mode. Further down the hall, the guidance counselor's suite, 3 offices in a row, sharing a common waiting area. The waiting area has chairs upholstered in a scratchy blue fabric, a coffee table with magazines fanned across it, career guides, college brochures. A poster on the wall showing a kitten hanging from a tree branch with the caption, "Hang in there." You look through the window at the poster. The kitten looks determined, or possibly terrified. It is hard to tell with kittens on motivational posters. The guidance offices are locked. You check each door. Locked, locked, locked. Through the windows, you can see desks covered with papers, file folders, college applications in various stages of completion. The lives and futures of students, organized and waiting for tomorrow. You continue down the hallway. The nurse's office is next. A small space with an examination table covered in white paper, cabinets containing bandages, ice packs, thermometers. A cot in the corner for students who feel ill and need to lie down. A chart on the wall showing proper hand-washing technique. The door is locked. You move on. At the end of this hallway is the attendance office. A cramped space with a single desk, a computer and a phone that rings constantly during school hours but is silent now. File cabinets labeled by year, absence notes, tardy slips. Documentation of who was where and when. Through the window, everything looks orderly. The desk is clear except for a stapler and a mug holding pens. The computer monitor is dark. The filing cabinets are closed. You check the door handle, locked. You have now checked every administrative office. Every door is secure. Every room is empty. This is what you expected. This is what you find every night. You check your watch. 11:21. The building is settling into the night, into the quiet hours, into the long stretch before morning. And you are settling with it, walking your slow circles, confirming what you already know, that everything is exactly as it should be. You walk toward the gymnasium. The hallway here is different, wider, with higher ceilings, built to accommodate crowds moving to and from sporting events, assemblies, gatherings that fill the gym with noise and energy. But tonight, there are no crowds. Just you, walking alone, your footsteps echoing slightly in the larger space. The gym entrance is a set of double doors, painted red, with push bars instead of handles. A sign above the doors reads "Home of the Wildcats" in faded letters. The school mascot. You push through the doors. They swing open with a soft creak. Inside, the gymnasium is vast. Your footsteps change sound immediately, from the soft tap of hallway linoleum to the hollow echo of hardwood floor. The ceiling is high above you, crisscrossed with metal beams and ventilation ducts. Banks of lights hang from the ceiling, switched off, leaving only the emergency lighting to illuminate the space. It is enough light to see by. Barely. The basketball court stretches before you, the hardwood floor marked with lines in different colors. The center circle, the three-point arcs, the free throw lanes. The wood is polished, reflecting what little light there is in long, glossy streaks. You walk onto the court. Your shoes squeak slightly against the floor. That distinctive gymnasium sound, rubber on hardwood. You walk to the center circle, stand there, looking up at the scoreboard mounted on the far wall. It is dark, displaying nothing. During games, it shows points, fouls, time remaining. Now, it is just a dark rectangle against the wall. The basketball hoops hang at either end of the court. You walk toward the nearest one, your footsteps echoing in the emptiness. The hoop is regulation height, 10 feet. The net is chain, not fabric, so it will not fray or tear. You stand beneath it, looking up. The rim is orange, painted metal, slightly chipped from years of use. You reach up, tap the net with your fingers. It swings slightly, the chains making a soft metallic sound. Then it settles, becomes still again. You turn, walk the length of the court. Along the walls, retractable bleachers are folded up, pushed back to create maximum floor space. The bleachers are made of wood, varnished but worn. During games, they are pulled out, filled with students and parents and visiting teams. Now they are just walls within walls, stored and waiting. You complete your walk to the far end of the court. Stand beneath the second basketball hoop. Look back the way you came. The gymnasium looks even larger from this angle, the floor stretching away from you, the ceiling impossibly high. Everything is in shadow except where the emergency lights create small pools of illumination. You walk along the sideline now, trailing your hand along the wall. The wall is cinder block, painted white, with padding at the bottom to protect players who might crash into it during games. The padding is blue vinyl, scuffed and torn in places. You can see the foam underneath through the tiers. A drinking fountain is built into the wall. You stop, press the button. Water arcs up. You take a drink, the water tasting the same as every other fountain in the building. Cool, metallic. You straighten, wipe your mouth, continue. There are doors along the side of the gym. Equipment storage. You try the first door, locked. Through the small window you can see basketballs on a rack, orange spheres arranged in rows, jump ropes hanging on hooks, cones stacked in a corner, gym mats rolled and standing on end. The next door is the boys' locker room. You unlock it, push it open, the smell hits you immediately. That distinctive locker room smell, sweat, mildew, disinfectant. The smell of athletic activity and adolescence and industrial cleaning products combined. You step inside. The lights are motion activated. They flicker on as you enter, fluorescent tubes buzzing slightly. Rows of lockers stretch before you, green metal, combination locks hanging from most of them. The floor is tile, pale yellow, damp-looking, even when dry. You walk down the row of lockers. Some are decorated inside with photos taped to the inside of the door. Athletes, friends, family. Some lockers are completely bare. Some have forgotten items at the bottom. A single sock, a deodorant stick, a crumpled paper schedule. The showers are at the back, a row of shower heads along the wall, separated by low dividers. The tile is white, grout-stained gray, a drain in the floor. The showers are all off, dry, but you can smell the soap and shampoo that have been used here, the scent lingering. You turn, walk back through the locker room. Check that all the windows are closed. They are small windows, high on the wall, the kind that tilt open for ventilation. All closed. You check the back exit. Locked from the inside, as it should be. You exit the locker room, pull the door closed, lock it. The girls' locker room is next, identical to the boys, but somehow different. The lockers are the same green metal, The floor is the same pale yellow tile, but there are small differences. A mirror mounted on the wall near the entrance. A bulletin board with reminders about uniform requirements. The smell is slightly different, less harsh, though still unmistakably a locker room. You walk through it the same way. Check the lockers, check the showers, check the windows, check the back exit. Everything secure, everything in order. You exit, lock the door behind you. Back in the main gymnasium, you walk toward the stage. One end of the gym has a raised stage, used for assemblies, announcements, presentations. The stage is accessible by stairs on either side. You climb the stairs on the left, your footsteps hollow on the wooden steps. The stage floor is dusty, footprints visible where people have walked during the last assembly. A microphone stand stands at center stage, abandoned, a podium off to one side. Behind the stage, heavy curtains hang on tracks, pulled closed. The curtains are burgundy, faded from years of sun exposure through the high gym windows. You walk across the stage. Your footsteps echo differently here, sharper, more distinct. You reach the other side, descend the opposite stairs, return to the gym floor. You check your watch, 11:48, nearly midnight. You have been in the building for almost 2 hours. Time continues to move slowly, each minute deliberate, unhurried. You walk toward the exit at the far end of the gym. It leads to the cafeteria, another set of double doors, these ones with windows showing the space beyond. You push through. The cafeteria is quieter than the gym, despite being nearly as large. Long tables fill the space, each table with attached bench seating on both sides. The tables are arranged in rows, 15 or 20 of them. During lunch periods, students fill these tables, the cafeteria loud with conversation and the clatter of trays. Now, the tables are empty, the benches unoccupied. You walk between the rows. The floor here is the same linoleum as the hallways, easier to clean than wood. Your footsteps return to their soft tapping sound. Some tables have chairs stacked on top of them, where the custodians were mopping earlier. The chairs are plastic, molded in single pieces, red and blue and yellow. At the far end of the cafeteria is the serving line. A long counter with metal trays and dividers. Behind the counter, the kitchen area, separated by a partition with a serving window. The menu board on the wall lists tomorrow's lunch options. Chicken nuggets, pizza, salad bar. Milk options. You approach the serving window, look through into the kitchen beyond, large industrial stoves all turned off, sinks. Prep tables made of stainless steel, a walk-in refrigerator, its door closed, a small light indicating it is running. The kitchen is clean, surfaces wiped down, ready for the staff to return in the morning and begin preparing breakfast. The kitchen door is locked. You try it, just to confirm. Locked. You nod, turn back to the cafeteria. Against one wall, vending machines. 3 of them in a row, snacks, drinks, water bottles. Each machine hums quietly, compressors running to keep the contents cold. Small lights inside the machines illuminate the products, chips, candy bars, soda cans. The glow from the vending machines is the brightest light in the cafeteria. You stand in front of the machines for a moment, looking at the options. You are not hungry. You are not thirsty. But you stand there anyway, reading the labels, noting what is available. Doritos, Snickers, Coca-Cola, Dasani. All the familiar brands arranged in neat spirals behind glass. The vending machine hum is soothing in a way. A constant sound, mechanical, reliable. You listen to it for a while, then move on. More tables, more empty benches. You walk the perimeter of the cafeteria, checking the exits. There are 4 exits total. 1 leads back to the gym, 1 leads to the main hallway. 2 are emergency exits, alarmed, For use only during evacuations, you check each door, locked or secured, alarms armed, everything as it should be. In the corner of the cafeteria, there is a small stage, not as large as the one in the gym, but big enough for announcements, for small performances during lunch. A microphone stand here as well, and a piano pushed against the wall. The piano is an upright, old, the wood veneer peeling slightly at the corners. You walk to the piano. Lift the fall board, revealing the keys. They are yellowed, ivory or plastic made to look like ivory. Some keys are more worn than others, the ones used most frequently showing the touch of countless fingers. Middle C is particularly worn. You press middle C. The note sounds clear and slightly out of tune, echoing in the empty cafeteria. You hold it for a moment, then release. The sound fades slowly, absorbed by the tables and benches and walls. You close the fallboard gently. Turn back to the cafeteria, looking across the expanse of empty tables. Everything is still. Everything is quiet except for the hum of the vending machines. You check your watch again, 12:07. Past midnight now. The building has crossed over into tomorrow, but nothing has changed. The cafeteria is still empty. The tables are still waiting. The vending machines are still humming. You walk toward the exit that leads back to the main hallway. Push through the doors, leaving the cafeteria behind. The hallway receives you back, familiar and unchanged. You have completed another section of your rounds. The gymnasium is checked. The cafeteria is checked. Everything secure. You continue walking, ready to move on to the next area, to check the next set of doors, to walk the next stretch of hallway. Because this is what you do. This is your night. You return to the main hallway. The building feels different now, past midnight. Not significantly different. Just deeper into the night, more settled, as if the school itself has accepted that this is its state for the next several hours. Empty, quiet, watched over, but fundamentally alone. You walk back toward the area you started from. The main entrance is ahead, the glass doors reflecting the hallway lights, showing your approaching figure as a dark shape moving through brightness. You reach the doors, check them. Still locked, still secure. Through the glass, you can see your car in the parking lot, exactly where you left it. You turn away from the entrance. Walk down a hallway you have not checked yet tonight. This one leads to the music wing. Band room, choir room, practice rooms. You have been saving this section, unconsciously perhaps, because it is quiet even by this building's standards. The band room is first. A large space with risers at the back, arranged in semicircular tiers. Music stands folded and stored along the wall. A podium at the front where the band director stands. On the walls, posters showing instrument fingering charts. Trumpet, clarinet, saxophone, flute. You look through the door window. The room is dark except for one small light above the director's podium, left on intentionally, a night light of sorts. In the dimness, you can see the shapes of larger instruments. Welcome to our journey through. Through the window, you can see a whiteboard with tomorrow's rehearsal schedule written in dry erase marker. Warm-ups, 8:30. Run through spring concert selections. Work on harmonies in measure 42. The door is locked. You continue down the hallway. Practice rooms line both sides here. Small soundproofed rooms, each with a door that has a small window. Each room contains a music stand, a chair, and sometimes a piano or other instrument. Students use these rooms to practice individually, to escape the noise of the larger rehearsal spaces. You look into each practice room as you pass. Empty, empty, empty. One has a violin case left on the floor, forgotten. You make a mental note. Someone will be looking for that tomorrow. Empty, empty. A trumpet mute on the chair. Empty, empty. Sheet music scattered on the floor will need to be picked up. Empty. The hallway ends at a storage room. Instrument storage. The door has a padlock in addition to the regular lock. You check the padlock. Secure. Through the narrow window, you can see shelving units packed with cases. Instrument cases in all sizes. Violin cases, trombone cases, drum cases. The accumulated equipment of an entire music program, stored and waiting. You turn back, retrace your steps through the music wing. The silence here is particularly complete. As if the rooms themselves are holding their breath between notes, between performances, between moments of sound. You appreciate this silence. It feels appropriate. Back in the main hallway, you decide to check the second floor. You have been on the first floor for over 2 hours now. Time to ascend. The stairwell is nearby, the same one you noticed earlier. You push through the door into the stairwell. The space is concrete and metal. Utilitarian. Your footsteps echo as you climb the stairs, each step producing a hollow sound that reverberates up and down the shaft. Handrails on both sides, painted yellow. Walls painted beige. Landing halfway up, then more stairs. You reach the second floor. Push through the door into the second floor hallway. It is nearly identical to the first floor. Same lockers, same bulletin boards, same linoleum floor. But being higher changes the feeling slightly. The windows here look out over the parking lot and the street beyond. You can see streetlights, the occasional car passing. You begin walking the second floor hallways, more classrooms, computer lab, foreign language rooms, more science labs. You look into each one through the door windows, confirming what you know will be true. Empty, locked, undisturbed. The routine is the same as before, but your pace is slower now, not from tiredness, but from the lateness of the hour. Past midnight, moving toward 1 in the morning, the deepest part of the night, the quietest hours. You move through them deliberately, step by step, door by door. A faculty lounge on the second floor. Through the window, you can see a kitchenette, microwave, coffee maker, small refrigerator, a table with chairs around it, a bulletin board with announcements, teacher appreciation luncheon next Friday, reminder to submit grades by the deadline. A cartoon clipped from a newspaper, something about standardized testing. The door is locked. You continue. More hallways, more turns. The second floor is a mirror of the first, and you navigate it with the same thorough attention. Each door checked, each room verified empty. Nothing out of place. Nothing requiring your intervention. Eventually, you complete the second floor circuit. Return to the stairwell. Descend back to the first floor, your footsteps echoing again in the concrete shaft. The sound is familiar now, comforting even. Back on the first floor, you check your watch. 1:23. You have been here for over 3 hours. The night is progressing exactly as it should. Slowly, quietly, without incident. You walk back toward the security office. It is a small room near the main entrance. Your base for the night. A desk, a chair, a computer monitor showing feeds from the security cameras scattered throughout the building. A coffee maker that you have not used. A small refrigerator containing your lunch, which you have not eaten. You enter the office, sit down in the chair. The chair is old, upholstered in gray fabric, the cushion compressed from years of use. It is not comfortable, but it is not uncomfortable. It simply is. You settle into it, and it receives you without comment. On the desk, a logbook. You open it, pick up the pen lying beside it, write the time. 1:26 a.m. Write your observations. Building secure. All rooms checked. No incidents, no anomalies. Everything in order. Your handwriting is steady, unremarkable. You close the logbook, return the pen to its place. The security monitors show different views of the building. The main hallway, the cafeteria, the gym, the parking lot. Each screen shows a still, unchanging image. Nothing moves except occasionally a tree branch visible through a window, swaying slightly in wind you cannot feel from inside. You watch the monitors for a while. Not because you expect to see anything, but because watching is part of the job. So you watch. The hallway remains empty. The cafeteria remains dark. The gym remains vast and still. The parking lot remains occupied only by your car. Nothing changes. Nothing ever changes. You lean back in the chair, hands folded in your lap. The building settles around you, a creak from somewhere above. The ventilation system cycling on, then cycling off. The hum of the refrigerator in the corner. These are the sounds of the building at rest. You close your eyes, just for a moment, not sleeping, just resting them. The darkness behind your eyelids is complete. You can still hear everything. The building breathing, the clock on the wall ticking, barely audible, your own breathing slow and even. You open your eyes again. The monitors still show nothing, the hallways still empty, the rooms still dark. Everything exactly as it was a minute ago, as it was an hour ago, as it will be an hour from now. You stand slowly. Walk to the small window in the office that looks out onto the main hallway. Place your hand against the glass. It is cool to the touch. Through the window, you can see down the length of the hallway, all the way to where it turns. The lights glow steadily. The floor reflects them. No one is there. No one is ever there. You turn back to the desk, sit down again. Check your watch. 1:41. Still hours until sunrise. Still hours until the building wakes, until the first teachers arrive, until the hallways fill with students and noise and movement. But that is not now. Now is this quiet, this stillness, this long, slow passage of hours in a building that holds 1,000 people during the day, but holds only you at night. You pick up a magazine someone left on the desk. It is several months old, a news magazine, the cover story about something that seemed important then, but has since been forgotten. You flip through it without reading, just looking at the pictures. Photographs of events, advertisements for products, articles about topics that do not matter to you. You set the magazine down, look at the monitors again. Still nothing. Still the same empty spaces, captured from slightly different angles. The coffee maker sits on the shelf, unplugged. You have never used it during a shift. Coffee would make you alert, and alertness is not required. Only presence, only awareness. Only the willingness to be here, watching, while the building sleeps. You do not make coffee now, you simply sit and listen and exist in the quiet. The clock ticks, the building creaks, the ventilation hums. And you are here, in the center of it all, a silent guardian of empty hallways and locked doors and rooms that wait patiently for morning. You check your watch again, 2:04. The night continues. You will make another round soon, walking the hallways again, checking the doors again, confirming what you already know, that everything is secure, that nothing has changed, that the building rests undisturbed. But not yet. For now you sit, and the building sits with you, both of you waiting, in no particular hurry, for the night to pass, as it always does, as it always will. The security office is warm, not hot, the thermostat set to maintain a constant temperature through the night. 68 degrees. Neither comfortable nor uncomfortable, just neutral. You have stopped noticing it. Outside the window in the hallway, nothing moves. Inside the office, you breathe slowly. The monitors glow softly. The clock ticks, and the hours stretch ahead, empty and patient, waiting to be filled with more of the same. More walking, more checking, more confirmation that everything is exactly as it should be. You close your eyes again. This time you let them stay closed a little longer. The darkness is complete. The quiet is absolute. And somewhere deep in the building, a pipe expands slightly as water moves through it, making a sound so faint you almost do not hear it. But you do hear it, because you hear everything here. Every sound, every shift, every tiny indication that the building is alive in its own quiet way. You open your eyes, stand. Time for another round. You leave the office, step into the hallway, and begin walking again. Your footsteps soft against the floor, your pace unhurried, your path familiar, down the main hallway, past the lockers, past the bulletin boards, past the classrooms with their dark windows and empty desks. You walk and check and confirm, and the building remains exactly as it has been all night. Quiet, empty, safe, and very, very still.